Picking up where we were from. So we know what a square is. What about, okay, so it looks like maybe it's got to be redone. I don't know if it got touched maybe. Let's give it, won't give me that one. All right, one more time. Thank you. What is that shape? First of all, is it a quadrilateral?
Yes.
What is it? Somebody that hasn't spoken to me. Olivia. A parallelogram, okay. And what do we know about the parallelogram? This side and this side is parallel. These two are parallel. What do you know about the angle of the parallelogram? What kind of angles would we be dealing with? Or do you know what the angles are? Just auto. Tanner? They are going to add up to 360. That is correct. What do you know, Michaela?
There's two obtuse angles and two acute angles.
Two obtuse and two acute. Okay, so they're not right angles, are they? Okay. So just some other things to think about. What about this shape? Is it a quadrilateral? Let me see if I even have one. That's not real good, but as a matter of fact, that's just terrible. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to draw. Is that a quadrilateral?
Yes.
Yes. What kind of a quadrilateral would this be? Nope, it's not a rhombus. What is that shape? What is the shape? It's kind of poorly drawn. It's a what?
Kite.
It is a kite. Best I could do with this little. It is a kite. And a kite, by definition, is a quadrilateral. It has two pairs of congruent adjacent sides and opposite sides that are not congruent. Okay? Two pairs. We've got this one and this one, and then I have these two. Okay? They are not parallel. They do not run parallel, but they are congruent. Okay? The kite. Trapezoid. Is a trapezoid a parallelogram?
Yeah. No.
I mean, is a trapezoid a quadrilateral? You're right, it's not a parallelogram, but is it a quadrilateral?
Yeah.
Trapezoid. Trapezoid. A trapezoid looks like.
No, trapezoid is one. Yeah. Like that.
It's a top of
Trapezoid. Pizza Hut?
Yeah.
That is a trapezoid, and yes, it is a quadrilateral. It has one pair of parallel lines here, but these two are not parallel. Do you agree? The other two are not parallel. The rhombus, the quadrilateral, these are all quadrilaterals. Okay, so just being able to name the shapes, do you think you'd be fine with that? I'm thinking you can. Okay? We're not just going to classify today, though. We've got to be able to identify the missing angles. And sometimes it's really nice to be able to identify it without having to measure it, because you're not always going to be able to measure it. Okay? So if I have second trying to think of how I want to do this. I hate getting interrupted in the middle of it. Yes, I did. I did. Yeah, if I have, a while ago, Tanner said something about the sum of the angles of a quad. What is the sum of the angles of the quadrilateral always going to be equal to? Always. The sum of the angles is always equal to what? Aaron? 360 degrees. Good. Always equal to 360. Okay? No matter what it is, if it is a quadrilateral, their angles will equal 360. So, if I give you a quadrilateral that looks kind of like this. This is really poorly drawn, but you'll get my message. And I tell you, this is not drawn to scale, of course. I give you all of those. You've got 3 out of 4. First of all, is it a quadrilateral? It's 4-sided. How would I find the missing angle? How do I find it? It should be pretty simple here. How am I going to find it, Darton?
You would have to add 115 plus 70 plus 75, and then you'd have to subtract 260 by 100.
Take all of that, add it together, and take 360 minus what you get. That's what I heard you say. And that would give me the value of x. Okay? So what's the value of x in this one? Reagan? 100 degrees? Okay? Easy? Easy peasy? Sure it is. Everybody agrees with what we got? Okay. Well, what if I said, you're going to have to construct a few. Before I do that, though, what if I told you that you have a quadrilateral, and your quadrilateral has 128 degrees, 40 degrees, 82 degrees. 128, 40, what did I say, 82? What's the value of x? Those are the measurements on a quadrilateral. You don't have a picture, but I'm telling you it's a quadrilateral. What is the value of the missing angle? Caitlin, 110 degrees? Because we know that all of that has to equal 360. When you add it all together, subtract it from 360, you get 110. Easy. Okay? We're good there. Let me see, are you going to have to draw any? Nope. Oh, yes you do. You have 2 you're going to have to draw. Let me look here. Yep, you will have 2 that you need to draw. Nah, I think I'll just give you 1. Maybe 2. What if I asked you to draw a parallelogram? We're going to draw a parallelogram with a 45-degree angle and a 135-degree angle. is a parallelogram, and you know that one is 45 and one is 130, what do you know about the other two angles? They're going to be equivalent. Okay? I'll agree with that. Okay? Now, think about the shape of the parallelogram. Okay? And a parallelogram, by definition, has, and if you look on page 294 in your packet, you have a parallelogram there. It has two pair of parallel lines. And their lines are congruent and parallel. So let's see. Okay, I've got one line drawn. Page 294. Now, I need a 45-degree angle, and I need a 130-degree angle. Now, the parallelogram looks something like this. Do you agree? Something like that. So one of these is a 45, because this one's not drawn to scale. But this is just kind of an idea of how to figure out how to do it. Okay? Not drawn to scale right now. This one here, is this going to be my acute angle, or is this one going to be the acute? If it's the way I got it right now. The one on the left. So this one technically would need to be 45, and then this one over here needs to be 130. Do you agree? So can you draw a 45-degree angle from this point? Yes? You get your protractor, and I bring it down, and I set it up on that vertex. And I come out here because it's going to go like this. And I come out and I find 45 degrees and I put a mark. Okay? So now if I go from that vertex, whoa, I don't want that. I can't get it to move things around. And honestly, I think it's much easier on paper than it is on this thing. Yeah? Maybe I didn't call it right. What did I say? I know I said 130, but let me look. 135 is what it should have been. This one should have been 135. Thank you. All right. So I've got my 45. I should be able to draw a straight line, right? Okay, I've got one side of it. The other side we said is 135, not 130. So I'm going to grab my protractor again, and I'm going to come over here and set it up. Now, we said this other angle has to be 135 degrees. So technically, it's coming from here and it's opening up. Do you agree? So I'm going to come all the way over to where it's 135. Off just a smidgen. There we go. Now move that out of the way. Give me a line. And I'm going to draw a line from here up to there. Okay, so now I've got the two, and then all I've got to do is draw a parallel line for the top, and I've got it drawn. Do you agree? I'm going to go here. And I know I've got some extra parts to mine that I don't really need out there. Let me get rid of that out of my way. Eraser. I'm gonna leave it alone because I can't just erase it because of the way I put my lines on. But do I have a parallelogram now? And would this one here be 45 degrees? And this is gonna be 135. Where's the other 135 degree angle at? Where is the other one? There's gotta be two of them, so where's the second one at, Paige?
Top left.
Top left, good. And then that makes the top right of 45, okay? You will have one that I want you to draw, okay? Any questions? How do you feel? Can you classify them? Where do you think you're gonna, is finding the missing value gonna be a problem? Okay. Is drawing it gonna be a little bit tedious?
Yes.
But if you pushed on, do you think you could successfully draw? I think you can. So let's go ahead with an assignment. Give you time to work. Not much, but a little bit. You're gonna go to your textbook, page 296. Well, your packet. 296, 297. One to three. Four through 12 even. I want 13. And then 27 to 30 all. That's it. That's enough. And this truly is the last section of this chapter.